We are
Gonna
struggling
be one of those
already.
videos.
It's gonna be one of those videos. Cats are fighting. Baby! She's a bully.
Now we know.
Here we go. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Foster the Meeple, a channel all about
Board games.
And
Board gamey things.
yeah, exactly. We're here today to do another Done Well, Do Better review. Today's Done Well, Do Better is on Octopus's Garden from Maple Games, designed by Roberta Taylor. So, as per usual, we are going to start with a brief overview of the game and then dive into our Done Well, Do Better review. Compete to collect all the features you need to place in your garden under the sea. Earn points for attracting the fish that you see. In Octopus's Garden, players take on the role of octopuses, completing to create the most beautiful gardens, attract colorful seahorses and clownfish, without losing pearl-producing oysters to the hungry sea stars. Octopus's Garden is a tile-laying game for 2 to 4 players. Players choose which plant and animal tiles to purchase from a central market and then decide how to best arrange them in their garden. Careful planning is required to attract seahorses and clownfish, to protect pearl-producing oysters from the sea stars, and to avoid startling delicate featherworms. So that is a little bit about the game. We'll talk a little bit more. Just for clarification as well, this is a prototype copy, so the components aren't final. This game, like we just said, it is a tile placement game. It's puzzly, and I would say has a bit of an adjacency to like a Calico style game.
Yeah.
But a little bit less complex, a little bit less brain burny. Each person has an ocean floor that they are trying to build out by buying different tiles from the market that represent different forms of the sea floor, or things on the sea floors, like coral,
Yeah, sea, like,
anemones,
yeah, sea,
horses,
biology, I guess.
yeah, seagrass, trash, because we all know there's trash in the sea.
What is it, biome?
Biome. Hermit crab, shells, all that stuff. And you are just trying to maximize your points by placing things in certain areas that might be adjacent to something that will give them more points, protecting your oysters, all of these things. In a nutshell, that's what this game is. It's a simple tile placement game.
Yeah.
Let's jump into the Done Well, Do Better. Let's start with Done Well. Jeffrey?
Always start with the good.
Always start with the good.
Or was it always start with the bad?
I don't know.
I feel like I want the bad news first.
Really?
Yeah. I really enjoyed this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to keep bringing up a different publisher's game, but it did remind me a lot of Calico, but Calico Light.
Calico Light. That's a really good way to put it.
Yeah. Similar mechanics wherein you're placing a bunch of tiles. You're just trying to maximize your biome. There's a bit of a marketplace. It's actually a unique marketplace. So instead of buying one tile at a time, you're buying sets of 3.
Column or a row.
Yeah, you can buy a column or a row, which is super unique. I'm not sure I've seen that anywhere else. And then you take those tiles and you place them into your biome. Tiles can move around because they represent like
living sea creatures.
Like hermit crabs. So it's really cool. Yeah, ultimately, I think the things that I enjoyed the most was the different way that the marketplace worked. I thought that was really cool. It added an extra strategy in terms of like making that purchasing decision a little bit more complex. And I also liked how you could win in multiple ways, and also how some tiles move around that board, which is really cool.
Yeah.
So starfish are worth a lot of points, but they'll move towards your pearls, which are allowing you to buy things. The more oysters on your board, the more pearls you'll get on your turn. And starfish will actually move around and try to eat them, but you can protect them with coral reefs and stuff. So it's a really cool way to do tile placement that I haven't really run into before. You know, where normally it's just you place a tile and then it's there. It's there for the whole game. This one allows you to kind of move things around and you can play a bit differently, and I thought that was really neat.
For me, for the Done Well, I think the theme is really cool, and it is quite thematic because, like Jeff was saying, you've got certain creatures that are trying to eat other creatures, and certain fish that want to be on certain environments. Yeah. So like the boxer crab wants to be on an anemone, and the parrotfish needs to be next to the coral because that's where they live, and all of these things. So I thought that that was really cool. I do really like the market and how you buy things. So you have to buy everything with these pearls, and at the beginning of your turn, you get a pearl for every oyster that's on your board. And it's kind of like this balance of, well, do do I want to buy more oysters, which are -2 points, but then I'm going to accumulate more pearls, which will let me buy more things? Or do you kind of like play the slow game and all of this stuff? And also there's an element of this game where you can pass, and when you pass, you can actually take a tile from the market and get rid of it and replace it. So if I know, well, I don't have a lot of pearls, but Jeff has a lot of pearls and this row is looking really good, then maybe I'm going to get rid of something that I know that he wants in that row, or something that's really high cost that I might want to take the rest of the row, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
So I think that was really good. The rules are simple. I learned this. It's like a page and a half of rules. Very easy to pick up and play. I think that you could easily play this with pretty much anyone, kids included. And it does come with some extra tiles that you can add into the game that adds like extra layers to it. So when we first played, we played with just the base tiles, and then the next time that we played, we added in the parrotfish and the boxer crab. Then the next time you might want to add in like the shark and the diver, and it's just there's a lot of variability in the game because you can like mix all of these things together. So I thought that was done really well.
I just want to jump in quick.
Yep.
To Jamie's point, like, yeah, you just add layers of strategic value to the game, mixing things up. But I thought you raised a good point, and I wanted to elaborate on it. Like, when I had said, like, there's multiple kind of strategies that you could do, like, where Jamie was saying you can put oysters on your board, which produce pearls, and they're inherently worth -2 on your board at the end of the game. But like I said, starfish can eat them. So you could technically have starfish purposely take some time to move towards your oysters to eat them, so that you gain some benefit from those oysters for a few rounds, but then by end game they're gone because the starfish has eaten them, because the starfish inherently moves towards it. I just think there's some really cool like strategic decisions that need to be made in this game due to the moving tiles and stuff. I thought it was neat.
Exactly. And I think that there's inherently a lot of replayability with these types of games,
and it's very quick.
Yeah, because you're drawing the market tiles out of a bag. So it's going to be random. You can switch up which tiles you're using. So there's a ton of replayability, and I think that's done really well too.
Yeah, and I mean the game doesn't overstay its welcome.
Nope.
Half an hour at 2-player. We're 2-player primary.
Yeah, 30 to 45 minutes is what it says on the box.
So I'm assuming a bit longer at higher player counts, but
so those are some of the things that it does well. Now, what are some things that it could do better? This one's going to be a little bit difficult because it is a prototype.
Yeah.
So we really can't judge the rule book. We can't really judge the components. So that's a little bit difficult. But is there anything that you think the game can do better?
Yeah, again, I do think the hermit crabs, we struggled a little bit. The wording was a bit weird. The scoring was a bit weird. It's actually, I shouldn't say that. The scoring wasn't weird. It just seemed a little bit more complicated than it needed to be.
Right.
Just the wording in the rulebook and stuff. Based off what we got in the prototype we saw, if they're going to only improve on that in terms of the quality of the components and stuff, like, I've got nothing.
Yeah, I think there's not a lot to critique here for the game, for what its purpose is, I guess. If you are going into this expecting to, spend as much time thinking and being as strategic as you are in a game like Calico or some other tile placement games, you're not necessarily going to get that here. So that's more so what's the word I'm looking for?
Don't know.
More so a statement for who this is maybe not for. I would say that this is very much so like a chill cottage game, morning coffee game that you might play with the kids. I don't know that this is going to be the game for the, heavy gamer who likes a ton of strategy. There's obviously strategy in this, of course, but I just don't, it's not a heavy game. I
was really at that like patchwork level of it's just a cool little puzzle I'm going to play for 15 to 20 minutes and have a coffee and hang out and stuff. I think that fits perfectly in that realm of game.
For sure. I know that there is a lot of replayability with this game. I don't know that it's going to be the game that you're always going to gravitate towards for us. I think that if you have kids, it will be, because it is kind of like, it's almost like that step that you want to get them to play before they play like that next tile game up, like even before they play like Isle of Cats or Calico. I think that is kind of where this game lives.
It's a really good intro game.
Really great cottage game.
Really good intro game into tile placement and how that mechanic can work with a little bit of a market buy. 100%.
Yeah, and like I said before, we can't really critique the components. The art is great.
Yeah,
I mean,
everything we saw looked great. I mean,
yeah.
And if they're just going to add to that stuff,
Great.
there won't be a problem.
Yeah, for sure.
If they start downgrading stuff,
Then
sure,
there will be
but
a
I
problem.
don't see that happening.
No. So we had a lot of fun playing this.
Yep.
This game is currently on Kickstarter, so we are going to link all of the information for this down below. Make sure you go check it out if it's something that you are interested in. And if you want to support Canadian publisher, which we love. Oh, Canada.
Love us some Canadian peeps.
Faux show. That is Octopus's. That's a tough one to say. That, you know what? I'm going to critique it. I don't like that. Octopuses. I would rather it just be Octopus Garden.
It's octopi. Like, I'm positive.
You gotta Google it because it's been driving me nuts. Because when I refer to this game, I'm just gonna say Octopus Garden. Because it sounds weird to say octopuses. This is my garden. He doesn't own it. It is octopuses.
No, this is interesting.
Oh, what? Is there a debate about it online? The octopi versus the octopuses?
Octopi is the oldest plural version of octopuses.
Mm-hmm.
It is no longer viewed in a positive light, apparently.
Why?
Especially in the English language. The preferred plural in English of octopus is octopuses.
I don't like that.
There is a third option called octopods.
Octopods.
But I didn't.
That's the one.
I didn't read further.
I mean, I understand this is an apostrophe because the octopus owns the garden.
Yeah, it wouldn't be. That's not correct, but they're probably.
But octopuses because it owns the garden. The octopus owns the garden, so it's the octopus's garden.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I think that's grammatically correct.
Yes, but it's hard to say.
Yeah.
Octopus's garden. Octopus garden. Anyways, there you go. There's a do better, I guess. That is all that we have for you guys today. If you're interested in buying board games, unfortunately you can't get this one at your friendly local gaming store yet, but hopefully soon someday. You should definitely check out your friendly local gaming store. For us here in Halifax, that is
Boardroom Game Cafe.
Sure the heck is. We thank you guys so much for watching. If you like what you see,
please subscribe.
We hope to see you again soon, and now we say goodbye. Goodbye.
Later days.
We're not centered with the background. The camera's way over there.
It's pointing towards you. Yeah, and it's also...
That's not in the middle.
No.
Okay. Whatever, I guess. Until I edit this, and then I'm like, ugh, why didn't I fix that?
Yep.
Is that the cat? Just not
yeah, there's a cat.
There's a cat.
She just jumped down, though.
She's just, look at her.
Hey!
What are you doing?
Stop it!
Yeah, it was you. It was!
You did it! No, it was you.
Can you put the freaking sass on this thing? She's gonna go right back after her.
Hey!
Who? You're like twice her size.
Baby!
Look at her. Go! Psh!
Get away!
Shoo! Shoo! Just freaking sass. They rhymed C with C.
We gotta go all the way back.
Okay. Fork. Okay. Anyways.
Isn't it octopi?
I don't know. I hate that word. Today's overview. Whoa. Wrong. Wrong. It's me. I'm still here, you Brussels sprout. Okay. Featherworms. I don't know what the hell that means. What's this game even about? This is the prototype. Ah, that's funny. But Albie has a toy.
Mm-hmm.
I have to take it from
That's
him.
his toy meow when he's got a toy.
Buddy, well, maybe you can play with it later. Cat distractions. And I think that if this is like he's so... Why? It's like, why when we film?